Ah, okay. Thank you all for joining us for another edition of Behind the Final Call Cover Story. This is a very special edition because a lot is going on, as everyone knows, unless you've been like up under a rock or something. So the reality is that our community is being impacted by a few things. Of course, COVID-19, as well as the recent murder or the recent killing. Let me use the right language. The recent killing of our brother in Minneapolis. We have the opportunity and been blessed to have three reporters from the Fighter Call newspaper online together. And we're going to go ahead and start with Brother Brian. I'm going to start with asking him to share a little bit about who he is, and then we'll move forward from there. Brother Brian.
Assalamu alaikum. So, well, Brother Brian E. Muhammad, staff writer with the Final Call newspaper. And this article that I turmoil that is now going on in the streets of America. And basically what we were looking at was the dissatisfaction, not just in the United States against the police and racism, but the image of America in all of these different capitals. Because most of these capitals, if we look at London, for example, they have a problem with police brutality like we have a problem. You know, other places around Europe and other places have this same kind of issue going on. So when they saw this video that went viral of this, and you said it right, this murder, this execution, this torture of our brother, it resonated with the people around the globe. And frankly, because of the arrogance of the U.S. government traditionally as it relates to human rights issues in other countries, people are just fed up and they're not holding their tongues. You have world leaders who normally would not use the human rights abuses that go on within America against black people as a as a argument or as a charge, against America. But now you're seeing this happening, and they have political reasons, but they also, such as our brothers in Iran, they have a genuine kind of interest in what is going on with black people, and then and they have actually made moves of solidarity in terms of our cause. Same thing with the Cubans. China is more of a political move against the United States because Washington has been so hard on China concerning the protests that's going on in Hong Kong. And what China is saying, well, if you have a right to criticize our situation here, which they blame America for, then should we, also raise our voices against your brutality and against your treatment of the black population in America since they've been there, And so you see the world reacting to this, which is what America was afraid of. And I'll just say it like this, Brother Troy, that, we're taught, that one of the main things that Pharaoh was afraid of was that we would join on to an enemy and come up against them. Now, black people, for the most part, are not joining on to America's enemies around the world, but there's a door that is being opened now for us to have serious relationships around the world based on addressing our suffering. And so it was important for the Final Call and its tradition to always look at the global impact of what is going on with our people. And I this is what we're trying to aim at in the article that we did, looking at the international reaction.
Thank you very much, Brother Brian, for joining us. Of course, this was a short notice, and we look forward to doing this type of content more so in the future, even more. I'm going to go ahead and move to the next person. Please stand on. We want to provide an opportunity for people to ask questions, and we're looking at those who have jumped in, and we look forward to you liking, sharing, and make sure that you are allowing other people to know about what we're doing. And we definitely look forward to seeing your input. So thank you, Brother Brian, for your input, and please stay on with us. So we're going to go ahead and move. I see I have two other people that are on with me, and I'm going to ask them, whoever lifts their hand up first, we'll bring them on next. So I'm looking at, okay. So we're going to go ahead and bring in Dr. or Brother Salam. And Brother Salam, can you give us a little bit about who you are, and we'll go from there.
Yes, sir. Hey, Brother Troy, thank you for the opportunity to come on. I'm Brother J.A. Salam. Been with the Final Call as a writer since the uprising and the killing of Mike Brown here in St. Louis, in Ferguson in 2014. I had opportunity to be here, to be on the grounds. And since that time, I have traveled throughout the country, covering a lot of high-profile killings, from Philando Castile, the young man who was killed in the car with his girlfriend and baby, Alton Sterling down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Stephon Clark in Sacramento, and a host of others across the country. But I just got back last night from from Minneapolis. I had an opportunity to go up, be there for the last few days, and to witness firsthand of what is going on, and get the vibe and put my hands on the pulse of the people in that city. And so that's who I am, and I'm honored to be here today to contribute to whatever way I can to this broadcast.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the article, which you was a piece that was written with you and the editor of the Final Call newspaper, Brother Naba, and the title is Seas of Anger, Days of Rage, Fed Up with Oppression, Police Violence, Emotions Are High, U.S. Cities Explode. As
Yes.
we know, is that we're not asking you, and we don't want you to read the article to us, because if you really want to know what's going on, you should take the opportunity to
That's
subscribe
right.
to the digital edition of the Final Call newspaper.
That's right.
A paper that you really don't have the opportunity to get the different diverse perspectives like you do with the Final Call independent newspaper. So can you give us a little insight on this article and what's going on?
Yes. Well, as everyone knows, you've seen the video footage. A young man, 46-year-old, father of two, George Floyd, was killed, murdered, whatever you want to call it, unjustly. The brother is dead now, and got a chance to go up to Minneapolis and be there and talk to people and get their reactions. But I got a chance to witness so much, Brother Troy, and please pardon me. I'm gonna hold back my emotions and be professional. But I saw some of the most sad people crying in the streets out of anger. They looted, they set things on fire, buildings. My God, I saw thousands and thousands, if not tens of thousands of people just all over the place. And what Minneapolis did and St. Paul, they went in different pockets. You have several thousands of people, so the police could not, they only have about 800 officers, so you can understand. 800 officers to deal with thousands of people. So that's why they could not stop what was happening. But I'll tell you one thing that did happen. They broke into a Target store, and they went in, and when I tell you, they pretty much emptied the place. But what was interesting afterwards, much of the items that they took, they put it in the middle of the street on the sidewalks for people to come and get what they need. Okay? That was like Robin Hood, you know? And that was very touching. As those who are looking, and I was there when, the former basketball player Anthony Stephen Jackson, pardon me. He came, and you might be looking at the picture of the family from the Third Ward in Houston. They all came up to give honor to their fallen brother and family member, and they came with strength, fearlessness, and I just can tell you, if you really want to know the pain of not just the family, because the millions of people who might be responding today is because they know it's not just George Floyd. It's not just Philando Castile, Mike Brown, Eric Garner. It's not just those who have been killed by police brutality. And it is the system that we're living under. And America, the people of America, black, white, poor whites, Asians, I mean, everyone is feeling this, and they're angry about it, and they want to change. And all I can tell you is this is just the beginning. Being at 400 days in Ferguson, I've never seen what I saw in Minneapolis and now all over the world. Again, enough is enough. The virus of corona cannot touch the virus of racism and hatred against a people. Thank you.
Thank you, brother Salam. And just really, it's really interesting that perspective that you brought. That we don't necessarily hear a lot of that, and I think in overall, I have to be honest. I think the media has done a little bit better job than I've heard them doing in other instances, with even though still not balanced, but actually bringing to light that there is a difference from our people, what they call looting, and our people who are protesting. And I know many of us may have different perspectives on that, and we'll take an opportunity to get into that a little bit. But I do want to, before we get back, and we'll bring up Sister Tarika, who will share her perspective. I want to check in and see if we have anybody who's on, and we got tons of people who are popping in, and we want to thank you all for supporting what we're doing right now. And we're going, after the next person presents, we're going to be looking for your questions and have the opportunity for this staff writers to actually come in with us and kind of share, kind of answer and respond to some of the questions that you may have. But before we do that, let me stop here and we let you know that we got a few people who are popping in on YouTube. You can see them down there. We want to thank you for your support, and let us know where you're tuning in from on YouTube. Please make sure that you're liking and sharing. But we really thank for those who are actually tuning in with us. And if you're enjoying what we're doing, please let us know. And if you're not, let us know what we can do better so that you do enjoy it. So I want to thank all of those who are popping in with us and showing us some love. We thank you. We thank you. So I'm going to bring up our next person. We have Sister Tarika. Assalamu alaikum, sis. Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic.
Salam.
How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Praise due to Allah. So can you, for those who don't know who you are, can you give us a brief intro of who you are and what your relationship is with the Final Call newspaper?
Right. So I'm a recent college graduate from Paul University, and I've been with the Final Call newspaper for 4 years now. And recently got promoted to staff writer. With this,
say that again. You've been you what now?
I said I've been recently promoted to staff writer. So first I was an intern and then graduated to big chair, I guess.
And you had the opportunity to actually do an article on the paper. Can you share with us a little bit about that? The title of the article is Anger and Unrest in Chicago.
Right. So my piece was focusing on Chicago, what's going on in Chicago, what the responses in Chicago about the unrest continue to go on over George Floyd's death, as well as the subsequent killings of Black police. So I reached out to a couple of activists and freedom fighters, as I call them, who understood what was going on and had a perspective of their own and where these protests were going, what the president should or should not do, and where this could potentially go.
And I'm going to bring up briefly the article, and just kind of really want to see, well, what is it that that may stand out to you that you weren't able necessarily to cover in the article, because there's only so much space that's there. Can you kind of share with us kind of something from this?
Well, I wish I could have actually gone downtown to see the protests in action. Of course, I couldn't do that, but I really wish that I had a chance to be on the ground reporting and speaking with protesters who were involved right then and there. One thing that really stood out to me was just how quickly a lot of businesses were just taken down. It's just how angry and fed up that our people were and are with what's been going on. And an interesting thing that one of my interviewees that I spoke with after the quarter, she said, "What was it about that tape that really struck a nerve with our people?" And she said that it was really the fact that it hit everybody on the head pretty much, that this was one of those of many recordings of police brutality that we may never get a chance to see. So it was right there. If you see the video, and it's on YouTube, the whole thing, there are people standing around videotaping, asking the police officers, why are you doing this? He's not responsive. They're arguing with the police officer, and they don't seem bothered at all, of course. And it's just that moment right there where it's like, it doesn't even matter if we're standing there. This is going to continue to go down. And that's what, when African Reporter told me that, I was just like, yeah, that's the first part of the business. It's just, that was the one of the videos that got a chance to see, that also reflected on the one of the videos that we probably will never get a chance to see, which is probably 10 times worse, of us being victimized by police.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I'm going to bring our other two individuals back on. Just, is there anything else that you kind of, before I'm going to scroll through and look and see if we have any questions from our live audience that's participating via YouTube. And once again, we ask that you will share what we're doing here. And we really look forward to being able to present this type of content a little more often. So any other feedback and thoughts about anything? Yes, sir. Brother Salam.
Yes, very quickly. I didn't get a chance to add it to the piece, but I do want to mention when the curfew was activated in Minneapolis that evening, we got a chance to go down this very affluent neighborhood, and we saw the National Guard blocking the street. And then there was a few teenagers that came out, about 5 or 6 teenagers, Caucasian, I think of maybe one black, and they came out with their hands up, okay, and they walking, and the police chased them, shot at one of them. So the brother who was in my car, who had the camera, he was trying to take a picture, and they shot at my vehicle and hit my vehicle with the rubber bullet and almost hit him within 8 inches of him out the window. They hit the side of my vehicle and put a big dent in it. And I took a picture of it, and actually I posted on my Twitter. It got really ugly up there. That's all I can tell you. It really is. And it's just the beginning. I got back in St. Louis last night, just FYI, shootings, riots, 7-Eleven set on fire. It was really bad here in St. Louis. 4 officers got shot, etc. Yeah, it's getting bad.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you, Brother Brian. Yes, Sister Tariq.
I just want to second that. I realized that this stuff was really getting real when I saw in one of the live footage on YouTube that even reporters were being shooed away. They were told they can't come out anymore. CNN reporters, small people, and they just had their camera crew, and the reporters were there. They were fighting with the police trying to get by, and the police weren't having it. They were telling them that they have to go. Curfew is set in now, and it just lets you know that even essential workers such as reporters, they're having nobody's being let out. Nobody's giving an exception right now. You know, it's Donald Trump put that executive order out there. It was been long. Now we have. It's just my brother's trying to go to Walmart. They took a lift. They tried to take a lift to Walmart, and they returned right back around. He came back in 10 minutes, saying, "We can't go to Walmart. It's been looted." I was like, "Yeah, I thought so. I don't know why you just spent all that money." But they learned their lesson that day that this is serious business. That this is not.
Yes.
We as a people, we're fed up now. Enough is enough, and this is where we're coming to.
That's right.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And someone said that can you lean a little closer to your mic? Brother Brian, you got some more feedback on any thoughts on this discussion? Anything you'd like to add?
I think again, we're at a point now where, total change is here. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, out there leader and publisher of the Final Post newspaper, he has said that what we see going on in other cities and other places around the world will be within the borders of America. And this has arrived. And so I think that we're at a critical time now where we have to continue to decide what are we going to do in terms of our own future. We're among a people that obviously is disagreeable to live with in peace, because this is not just about police brutality, but it's about something that has been ingrained in the very fabric of America. As one person said to me in an interview that I didn't necessarily put in the article, but this is America. This is, it was built and came into existence on this type of iniquitous behavior, the genocide of the Native Americans, then bringing us into slavery, and white supremacy has been the rule of the day. And so we have to make a decision. This is not, and of course they have to make a decision, because I think Brother Salam said it right in terms of you have white people, you got different people now who are being affected by this because they see no clear future for themselves. So it's a wide angle picture of the fall of America, and these are the symptoms and the signs of an unraveling nation right in front of our eyes. And the whole world sees it. The whole world sees it. But Brother Troy, if I can just say one thing, which, in line with the international, I don't want the people around the world to be happy. Because again, the minister said that all of the visas will be removed. All of them. America is just the start. But our brothers and sisters in Africa and their leaders, our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean, there has to be a totally universal change, which is happening in front of us. So don't be happy that you see America in this turmoil while it creates this picture of exceptionalism around the world. Don't be happy, because just as your stuff is now within our borders here, what is bringing us down is also already in your capital as well. Check your lead as well. So the world is in turmoil right now, and that's really universal change is here.
Thank you, Brother Brian. And the thing is, I want to thank those who are once again joining us from all around, not only the country, but from the world. We have someone that is joining us, Rocky Rhyme Music is joining us from Ghana. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you for your support there. And just ask that everybody will continue to like and share as we continue in this discussion. I see a few questions are popping up, and I'll try to make sure that I scroll through those. But one thing that somebody also noted that is important to know, that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan will be addressing not just those who are in the nation of, or those who know that they're in the Nation of Islam, but he'll be addressing the world by Allah's permission on July the 4th. That is something that you don't want to miss. I'm not going to pretend to know what he's going to speak on, because someone asked the question, is the minister going to speak on the unrest? He's going to speak to the hearts and minds of our people, and he's going to speak to the hearts and minds and condition that this world is in. So whatever you're thinking about, whatever's going on, whatever is heavy on your heart, you can expect that to be dealt with and addressed when the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan speaks. I can tell you that. So be on the lookout for that. As more details are being unfolded, you can expect to go to noi.org, and you can keep updated with what the latest things are with that, because most likely it will be streamed from noi.org/webcast. If you have not taken the opportunity, that even though the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has not necessarily publicly spoken, since Savior's Day, right? Well, he spoke a little bit after Savior's Day.
After, sure. Yeah.
But the thing is that it's not just about a man. The Nation of Islam is not about just one individual, even though he's a guide and a light, but he has representatives. And that's one of the things, the blessings that we have, that if you're looking for guidance, then you always have that through the Nation of Islam. You have it through the books that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has given us, The Fall of America, Our Savior Has Arrived, Message to the Black Man, of course, in this day and time, How to Eat to Live. You have it in the study guide, Self-Improvement, The Basis for Community Development. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is not an entertainer. So if you're looking for someone that's going to make you feel good, just like one of our entertainers do when they dance or sing a song, that's not his purpose in this world. And I just I talked to Sister Tariqa, I believe in Brother Salam earlier, and I saw something on Facebook that as people are asking, well, where's Minister Farrakhan? Where's the Nation of Islam today? And her response was, if you look at when a teacher is teaching, there's a part of that time in which you expect him to teach and give instruction. But after that's happened, what happens is usually some type of assessment. There's a test. So we are in now a time period of the test, because he's given us guidance. And for those who have been listening to, even though it's uncomfortable seeing the drama that's going out, is that we've been guided. And even if we didn't know when it was going to happen, none of this is a surprise to us. So we just encourage you that when you hear him and have the opportunity to hear him, and as you're going back and listen to what he's already said, that don't just look at him as one that makes you feel good by the words, but make sure that you're taking the guidance so that when the next test comes up, you're better prepared for it. Don't let me get started. I guess I already did. So I'm going to sit back for a second and see if any of my other individuals who are joining us today have anything else that they would like to share as I scroll through and look and see if we have any other comments that are online.
Well, Brother Troy, if I could say this, just giving correct advice to the people. Sister Tariqa, this is way before your time, way before your time. Maybe Dr. Salam, I remember.
Sister Tariqa, about 50 years old, she just eat one meal a day.
All right, good one.
Jill got Henry, and he said, he did a song, "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised," right? And in the interview, he explained what that meant. He meant that all the forces that are going on, they didn't see this coming. It's just like Brother Leo, you both all the same. They didn't see this coming. And so it's something that's already going on within. But your eyes are open. So all these people for looking at the minister and you want a voice, you always want a voice. Well, what is the inner voice within you saying? He's been pointing this out to you for so long. So now that it's happening in front of you, why are you not seeing it? Now you're waiting for him to tell you what to do. He said it was coming, and he even gave guidance on what we should be doing.
That's right.
Storing food in our houses, buying land, all of the things that we should be doing.
That's right.
But what it is because our people, we're so ingrained, we in the slaveocracy, which is just a glorified way of saying the only paradigm of life that we had was slave master kind of living. That now that things are happening, we don't know what to do because we don't think like an independent people. We don't think like so we're looking for somebody to tell us what to do, point the way. And we have already been given this, and we've had it for 90 years, called the Nation of Islam.
Yes, sir.
And if you don't want to join the Nation of Islam, you and there are so many other voices that came in line with the consciousness and conscientizing of our people. For those of you that have been asking, where are the Muslims or where's the ministers? We are where we are doing what we have always done. Because we have an organized agenda. You see? So, and the Final newspaper, we represent that independent voice of guidance. If you read those articles, you're not going to see the telling of the straight news that you can easily turn CNN or some other separate news to look at. But we're trying to give you guidance at the same time within our reporting. And so, no. The minister is where he's at, and whatever he says on July 4th, stop looking for what you want him to say, and just listen to what he's saying and follow what he's saying, so you can not die and you can live through what we're going through right now.
Go ahead, brother.
Thank you, Brother Brian. There's two comments that are up. One of them, in one of the things that we as citizens of the Nation of Islam and registered citizens of the Nation of Islam is that we strive not to speak beyond our term, right? And so those who that's sufficient to say. So one of the things is that there's a question that came up, and I'm gonna put it on Sister Tarika to answer this one, or based on the instructions that she's given, she's wise enough to know that there's certain questions that may not be for her to answer. So I'm gonna give her that. So, but someone says, do you all believe women should protest when they can risk being physically injured?
Well, you can protest at home. You do not have to put yourself in a position where you potentially be physically injured. You don't have to do that. I mean, boycotting the white corporate businesses is a form of protesting that you don't have to go out and physically do. And supporting Black businesses, you can do that right at home. You don't have to risk yourself like that to spread the message.
Thank you. I don't know if one of the brothers wants to jump in and has any comments or feedback. That sounds pretty straight to the point to me, but
no, she spoke the truth.
Crazy. Thank you. Let me see if I have anything else down here. There was one. Someone asked, "Are we going into martial law?"
You're there.
Going into, I think that the insurgent law, I think it is, that he's wanting to re-implement of the 1807, where he wants to turn the military into the police, if you will, but we're getting close to that point. There's a lot that's going on. It's a dictatorship here in America, even to the point I think last week they had stopped the production of any passports in America. If you don't have your passport, you cannot get a passport.
Wow.
It's going to be delayed, and there's no timeline of when they're going to start giving producing passports again. You have to have documentation showing extreme emergency of death, life and death situation where they would even grant you a passport, but they're not giving out any passports right now. So, and then there's the real ID that's coming October the 1st, where you have to have it in order to travel by plane,
Right.
and or to go into government buildings. So, and with the pandemic going on and the social distancing, which is an oxymoron to be social and distant, but the fact is, we are seeing signs of what a martial law looks like, and at the end of the day, we have a responsibility to come together as a people, adhere to the teachings of Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that this is a time for separation, and we are being forced to separate. We can get angry about what's going on in the country, but if we had a separate territorial state of our own, where we are governing our own affairs, and we was among our own people, we wouldn't have to worry about what's going on. But until we realize that we are being forced to separate, we cannot continue to want to fit in into a society that don't want nothing to do with us. We get angry, but the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said he only gets surprised when the white man does good. He expects him to act like this. We should expect it too, but we should be more in a hurry to run to our own, accept our own and be ourselves, become an independent nation within this nation, store up in our homes, come together and work as a collective to bring about a universal change for our people here in America and all over the world. So martial law, whatever law, Allah's law is the law.
Praise to Allah. Go ahead, Sister Tariq. I saw it right there on the tip of your tongue. Go ahead. Don't hold back.
No, everything he said was bearing witness to it is absolutely correct.
Praise to Allah. Thank you. Well, I see another question someone asked, and I think we already kind of addressed it. But they said they made two comments. One is, what is the agenda? And following that, it says, y'all used to be the voice. What happened? Now, I have to say it once again. If you haven't been listening, is every week we've been constantly being reminded of what we've already been given, right? I got a stack of books right in front of me. Our Savior has arrived. A Torchlight for America. How to Eat to Live. How to Eat to Live, Book 2. The Fall of America, if you got this cover, or if you got this cover. Message to the Black Man. Self-Improvement, the basis for community development, Volume 1. Self-Improvement, the basis for community development, Volume 2. Every week you can see the lectures that have been delivered. We're being given guidance through there. You can go to noi.org/webcast. You can go back and listen to those Sunday lectures, those Wednesday lectures, as well as the study that we've been engaged in on a weekly basis, which is giving us direction and guidance on Fridays with opening word from Student Minister Ava Muhammad on a weekly basis. The name of the paper that we have is called The Final Call.
Right,
so we're getting to a point that the call has been made. And at a certain point in time, you don't necessarily continue to hear somebody making a call. I know I probably left something out, and I know I saw I heard the ums and the ahs. So I'm going to turn it back over for those who are supporting me with the final call.
I got in that question, it's interesting question, a very good question. But well, you said that you all used to be the voice. Well, does that mean somebody replaced us? And so, where are they? And if it used to be, we've never stopped producing. We've never stopped producing. We've been doing it for decades. And the final call comes out every week. We have lectures every single week. We constantly promote it, social media, through our paper. Nothing has changed except the medium. There's been a little bit more attention to the medium, of course, with social distancing, in which we constantly spread the word. So no, we haven't gone.
So Farrakhan has not changed directions. Thank you, Sister Tarika. Brother Brian?
Yeah, I'm so through. Brother Salam knows that for many years I was the assistant to Brother Akbar Muhammad, international representative. So I'm very in tune with being very diplomatic. But, right now, that's just a stupid question.
Well,
for you what the voice is. Who marketed that to you? So who is the voice now? Or you want to say the one that you see making commentary on CNN or Fox or whatever you watch it? And where are you? I notice when you ask these questions, you don't also put in context where I've been doing X, Y, and Z, and where y'all at? You need a blanket part of your whole question on context open to be determined. What are you doing? Why would you type that? What, are you part of an organization? Are you mobilizing? So let's stop that. I love our people. But I'm so through with you putting the responsibility on somebody else because you are still a slave. And you're orientated as a slave. So what do you want? You want to join the nation and look to be a slave? We're not slave makers in the nation of Islam. We free the human being. As Elijah Muhammad said, when they follow me, they're free.
Yes, sir.
We ain't got to be looking for leaders. He's making God.
That's right.
And since you don't know what that looks like, you're looking for a leader. What do you want the ministers to tell the protesters, well, stop looting? Well, he didn't call this to loot.
That's right.
So, I have very little patience with that stuff. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And you're right. They should look at all of the books that we have. But if you're not a reader and you don't want to discipline yourself, you say you love Malcolm X. But Malcolm X was a reader. Malcolm X was a man who disciplined his life. You want to know what the agenda is? But are you willing to discipline your life for an agenda? We have a self-responsibility. Self-improvement is the basis for community development. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine, brother. Man, Brother Troy, I'll be brief. You let me say something, but Brother Brian, woo, brother, that's right. No,
Tell him why you mad, G. Tell him why you mad.
No.
The old world going out, the new world turmoil coming in. And there's a whole lot of turmoil in the process. A turmoil within the people, a turmoil within me. Because remember, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is a man that, and this again, this is all those who ask him, well, where is the minister in all of this? Well, he's a man of integrity and is a man that you love to see and hear. He comes out of the context. In other words, he didn't come out, Allah just dropped him out to die somewhere. He came up to the same thing that you're going through in your life. But he overcame it, he's overcome it.
Yes.
So what we're saying is, if you want Farrakhan, then you need to begin to listen to what he has already said and become you. He doesn't want you to become, there's only one Farrakhan, but become you.
That's right.
Yes. That's right.
I'm mad because I'm going through the same turmoil that you see out in the world. Because maybe some of us were conscious aren't ready for what we should be doing. But the point is, take ownership of your life, man. You want us to be the voice. And you have a voice.
That's
There's
right.
enough information out there now with YouTube and everything else that you can access to hear if you need to hear what we have to say on this particular guidance. But what are you going to do with it? You're going to become a YouTube scholar and argue with each other? My daddy's bigger than your daddy, my leader's bigger than your leader. Get out of here with that. People are dying right now. And we will continue to die until we make the change. White supremacy is only answered by black excellence, as we mentioned today.
Go ahead, brother.
We'll fight, and hell, we know how to fight. We will fight. But you're not going to determine our fight. You're not making that call.
Come on, brother.
You don't have the intelligence to make that call. So don't ask us about where we at or where we not at. But we are where we're supposed to be because we are disciplined. Under the voice that you're saying you want to hear. But do you want to be disciplined?
Thank you, Brother Brian.
Man.
Brother
okay. Yes, sir. Man, brother, first off, thank you for that, for expressing the truth of what we represent. You know, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, don't ask the question of what must be done. He said, get up and do something. He said, don't ask no one to do for you what you can do for yourself. We are always looking for somebody to speak for us as if we don't have a voice, as if you don't have a soul, as if you don't feel the pain of your own people. Where is your voice? Don't ask about ours. We're speaking. We're speaking. And we're living this life in the midst of hell. It's not easy to live the life we live in or striving to live in America. It's not easy. Join on with us and put your voice with our voice. We used to be the voice? No. We are truly a good example of what righteousness looks like in a wicked, evil world. And it's a sacrifice to do what we're doing. So we ask that you would join on. But check your heart. Look in the mirror and be truthful with yourself before you point the finger and question what someone else is doing or not doing. Ask yourself, who am I and how do I relate to this? Thank you, Brother Brian. That was very beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Brother Troy.
Praise
Sister Tarika.
There's a question that just popped up, and I'll just bring it up. It says, and this is somebody who posted this. I know who this person is, Brother Malik. But he's asking a question that he has the answer to, but all of our people don't. So can you see it? Everybody sees it. What has the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said each person should have stored in their homes to survive this time? I know who I want. Hopefully, the person that I'm thinking of will go ahead and just jump in.
Live so and how to eat to live. That's to the Black man will be ought to be stored inside of our homes, and how to prepare for the time that's currently going on right now. Of course, you know, I'm not going to list any. I'm not going to list these things. I'd rather you go get the book and you read it and make the adjustment and store those things in your home.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. I know one thing, and we actually, and of course, you should be tuning in on a weekly basis to the messages from Student Minister Ishmael Muhammad, the National Assistant to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. But recently, one of the things that was shared was the importance of the navy bean suit. And there's actually, I'm looking for it on the website. I'm quite sure it's here somewhere, but they actually give what the recipe of the bean soup is and how to canning. And there's a few things that you want to go and explore the website, and you can get some additional information about that as well.
We also have the emergency edition of the Farrakhan newspaper, which gives you more than enough detail that you need to store in your homes in case of emergency, and just in general what you should have to protect yourself.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And time has been flying. We have been on for almost 50 minutes, man. But the questions are coming. We want to thank those who from across the country who have been on and supporting us. Please make sure that you like, share with those who may not have been able to watch us live, but they can go back and watch the recording. I'm scrolling through. Our people don't see their own responsibility towards making independence happen. How can we show them that through this struggle? I know we kind of already addressed that, but if somebody else wants to jump in and touch it.
Well, our people don't see their own responsibility. We're going to be forced in that position. You see that most of the businesses downtown so whether we like it or not, we're going to be forced to do for self. We're going to be forced to support our home.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Somebody send a shout out to Iceman. Inheritance, definitely a powerful book. Scrolling through. And please feel free, as I'm trying to scroll through, please feel free to jump in.
Brother Troy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have to plug my phone up. I got 5%. I didn't realize for a whole hour the battery is going out of my phone. So I'm looking for my plug. So if I look like I'm going out, back in. I don't know how much longer we have, but this has really been a wonderful time to be on this call. So if I go out,
we definitely don't plan on going past an hour, but if you have to drop off, we understand, and we look forward to. I hope all. I know personally, I'm enjoying this discussion, and inshallah,
yes,
we'll be able to do it again soon. For
yes,
those
sir.
who even fought with me and get known, hopefully they're enjoying themselves too by Allah's permission. I ain't gonna say no nasty.
Wonderful.
And just kind of scrolling through, and want to thank everybody for their joining in and sharing their comments. Our people need to repent. Laws on we can just college. Praise to Allah. Yeah, brother says that, you know, if you're not a reader, of course, there's volumes there. We never heard from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan again. He has spoken on everything.
Yes.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, one of his representatives, many of his student ministers that are across the country, if you really desire for our people to have a voice, if you're really looking for guidance in this time and you want it, you can find it.
Yes, sir. That's right.
It's on this. I mean, if you're really looking for it, but sometimes, you know, we want something that tickles our ear, and we want somebody to say what we want them to say, and when we want them to say it. So sometimes that's a struggle. Repent, for the kingdom of God is at hand. All Black politicians have sold out. You know.
You know, that's true. There's so much information. And, you know, I did an interview with obviously one of his last interviews before he passed, the former mayor of Jackson, Mississippi, Chokwe Lumumba. And he said that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, before there was any black liberation movement, before there were any of that, he said that the school was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that he was the father of black consciousness. So what I'm saying is that as you look to us, most of the people that you will encounter out there, you know, if it was not for the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, we would not have the level of scholarship in terms of black life that we had. You see, even in the terminology, black, you know, when we were still calling ourselves colored people, Negro, see, he drove this evolution of a people. So I understand that this is what you want and this is what you should have. The Nation of Islam, come right to the root of it all. But my point is, as I think we're saying here, is that there's no excuse to be totally oblivious today. Because consciousness is out there, you know? And if you don't want our discipline, you don't want to be among us, keep on seeking. But do something besides sit back and criticize and look at who is going to do what, like we're a bunch of animals in some horse race. No. So I would hope that our people will you know, definitely seek us out and you know, in your local cities and whatnot. We have representatives in all of these cities here and across the world.
That's
London,
right.
You know, all the way in Australia, no less. Throughout the Caribbean, there's representatives. So no matter where they're watching this from, you know, you have access to far time. But the question is, what will you do with your access?
Yes, sir. Well, don't want to pass an hour. Of course, I'm not going to tell y'all. Well, I am going to tell you. I thought this was going to be like 30 minutes, but Allah's the best knower. But I think we've all enjoyed ourselves. Just from those who are in the audience, did you enjoy this discussion? Did we leave something out? Did you think it should have been more? Do you think it should have been less? Was it too long? Give us your feedback. We'll definitely be looking at your comments. What I want to do is provide everybody an opportunity to just make some closing statements, in particular on what's going on, and you know, just their thoughts, in particular on the Final Call newspaper and what was in this edition and what they should expect coming in the future in terms of coverage.
You to my dear sister.
Well, all I can say is subscribe. Subscribe to the Final Call, the digital edition of the Final Call newspaper. Keep tuning in to NOI.org, especially for all these podcasts. There's tons of information more over. Follow us up on social media, on YouTube, of course. And this week, you should expect uncompromised truth. And we always publish every single week. Final Call newspaper on this time, specifically on protests following George Floyd.
Thank you. Your voice did get kind of low. So basically, in part, make sure you're following social media. Final Call is on Facebook, Twitter. Is it Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram too.
Instagram. You want to follow us on all the social media platforms and make sure you're staying in tune. And go ahead and subscribe to the digital edition of the paper. I know many of you saw me as I was clicking through it. Me and the features. I see Brother Salam is back on. The many features that we have that allow you to actually even have the paper read to you. For those who may not be readers, you can actually have the paper read to you as well. So that's remove all excuses from you. And Brother Salam, what we're doing is just making some closing statements before we just close out. So, Brother Brian, Brother Salam, jump at it. Whoever wants to jump in, with your closing remarks or statement.
Sure. Well, the only thing I would say is that, again, support independent media. There's been a concerted effort to marginalize black press. And it was times like this that black journalists even really came into prominence, what they call prominence, meaning they were able to work in the corporate media, because the corporate media, back in the day, they were afraid to step into the kind of stuff that's going on in the streets now. But the point is that we need our own independent, medium. And the final call is that in the tradition of Muhammad speaks and all of the great black newspapers and voices that we have always had. And in this visual age, now we can reach the world with our message, and you'll be surprised. I don't know the numbers, but if the numbers are home, you will see that the whole world is looking at the guidance that we're trying to convey through the medium of the newspaper. And we will continue that tradition. And I'm not being presumptuous to say so. I know the spirit of our paper and the relevance of our paper. And so, do all that we're just asking you to do. And I'm telling you that digital edition is, man, I mean, just the things you can do it will make you into information. I mean, you should get into information the way that this thing is set up. So I would do that. And stay safe and listen to now, if you want to listen to the minister, and you should listen to others, keep up with the guidance that we're given on the coronavirus. And, because they're not giving you the right information or accurate information, not that's untainted, in terms of politically, untainted or whatnot. So we are giving you right guidance for that concern. So definitely, to save your life, you want to keep up with what we're saying, concerning this pandemic that we're under and the turmoil that we're in now. We definitely have a lot to say on it, and you get that through the final call newspaper.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Brother Salam.
Yes. Can you hear me, Troy? Beloved?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Well, first I want to say is, if anyone is watching this, subscribe to the final call. Your support is greatly needed and wanted. Our people need the truth. And in the safety and comfort of your home, you can read every week, what is going on in the world from an uncut perspective. We're going to give you the truth. We're not going to lie to you. So subscribe to the final call. That's the first thing. Secondly, I want to say, Brother Troy, thank you for an opportunity to come on and just to share a few words about the importance of the mission that we're on. We've been given a mission by Almighty God to seek and to find and to save a fallen humanity, our people, to get us up out of this condition. So I'm grateful to be one of those angels, if you will, that are here on a mission. But I just want to just say to all those who are listening, be safe. Follow the instructions of the man of the hour. Minister Farrakhan has been given a mission, and we're here to help him with this mission. And store up in your homes what you need. Not just 2 to 3 weeks, but 2 to 3 months, 6 months if you can. Put a garden in your backyard. If you don't have a backyard, get you some plastic totes and put some dirt in it and put a garden in your house. You're going to be in there anyway. You might as well get what you need inside. But I just want to say, brother, thank you. I'm looking forward to coming back on, if it please Allah, to continue to talk about our mission and what we're doing. out here in the field. And I'm looking forward to going down to Houston for the funeral. So possibly next week we'll come back on. I don't know how often do you do this, but this has been very wonderful, and I'm very grateful. I thank you. I am on Twitter. If you want, you can at Dr. J.A., and that's DRJA Salam, and that's it, at Dr. J.A. Salam. That's Twitter. And also Facebook is just J.A. Salam. But I thank you once again. My colleagues, Sister Tarika, Brother Brian, keep doing what you're doing. Y'all mighty soldiers, and I'm blessed to be in your company. Thank you.
And I'll just say this real quick: is please make sure that you're tuning in on a weekly basis.
Yes.
Just the guidance of if you're listening for and wanting a voice from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, we've been blessed on a weekly basis to hear the words and guidance from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in his his year-long presentation of the time and what must be done. And even though this was done several years ago, the guidance has been so relevant to the day and time in which we're listening to. So if you want to hear the voice of truth, if you want to feel that our word and our position is being represented, make sure you check out noi.org/webcast and listen to us weekly on Sunday, Wednesday, and on Friday. And until next time, Behind the Final Call cover story, please subscribe to your digital edition of the Final Call newspaper. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Brother George.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you, sir. Thank you, family. Assalamu alaikum.